I would show you some of the Lidl gliders that I've built in the past and something that I'm going to do in the future. So this was my first one, a very simple conversion. Okay, so this was one of the first Lidl gliders that I converted, and in my opinion probably the one simplest in conversion. The only part that some of you may find complicated is this connecting rod, which allows the wings to pivot, which goes through from there to there, and divide the wing, just cut it into three, put the pivot in, two servos, make a hole through for the wire to come from where the servo is, fit your battery, hollow out a bit of the cockpit to allow the receiver to fit in there, and then once you program it up for delta mixing or V-tail mixing on the wings, that is it. That's the conversion done. Very simple and easy to fly. Very little in the way of modification to it. Nothing down there is altered, just there. If you haven't checked out my video already of this, the build and me flying it, I suggest you go and do that. Okay, I'm going to show you the next one that I did in the build sequence. Okay, and the next one of my favourite ones, again, a fairly simple build. This time it used two little gliders, and I made the wing longer because obviously I'm using two wings, but obviously not a full wing. Okay, so I cut the centre section where I would normally do on each wing to fit on the fuselage, then cut the next bit out just before the bend there and put the two together. This gives me a longer wing, and it gives me the option of a duo glider. So again, conversion wise, other than doing the control rod like that goes right the way through. I mean, I've done it for neatness. I bored a hole right the way through, but there is no reason why you couldn't just make a channel through there and bury the carbon fibre rod and tube in that, if you don't mind having a mark there. Regarding the controls of the wings, all it requires is a servo to lift the outer portions of the wings. Okay, and that was simply done with each side of the fuselage as its own servo to control the outer portion of the wing. And all it's a case of doing is fitting a receiver obviously in each fuselage, a battery to power the one servo and the one receiver. A small connecting rod would connect onto the servo to control the outer portion of the wing. So again, that's a nice favourite of mine I quite like, and it slots together very easily. So it comes apart easily, easy to take up the hills, take with you on holiday, and assemble when you're on the field. So that would slot like that. Then I would slot my other wing on, or the fuselage, what am I, wing, fuselage goes on there. Okay, obviously I would connect, I'm just doing this quickly and roughly to show you. It's quite big. But as I say, check out my build video and you'll find that. Okay, so that's the wings simply put together. The tail plane just locked in. Like that. And there we have a large glider with a difference. Okay, so that's that one that I did. Okay, so I'll go on again, check out my build video for that one, and of course the flying video. Okay, so taking it apart again, dead easy. Take that off. Now I'll show you the another one. Of course I can take the rod out of there if I wanted to. There you go, carbon tube with a bit of threaded tube in each end. And of course a tube for it to fit into and a tube for it to fit into. I have a larger carbon tube in the centre section, and just a normal tube in those sections, and you see the beauty of this one as it folds away, nice and compact. Okay, so I'll now show you the another one I've done. Okay, so this is another Lidl glider I converted. This time I chopped the rear of the fuselage off and glued the fin back on, and I increased the area of the fin by cutting up the remainder of the tail plane and gluing it in place. I also put balsa trailing edges on, because the thickness of the trailing edge of these wings is not great, it's quite thick. So by putting some trailing edge on there, I can get a nice thin trailing edge on there. I've got more wing surface, and this is again another simple conversion, or again required just 2 servos, same position as before, with a connecting rod to each aileron to control the aileron. Again, the cockpit area was just hollowed out to accept a small receiver. I've got 35 megahertz receiver, that's why it has an aerial in there, and a NiCad battery in there as opposed to a LiPo one, because I needed the extra weight, because with a flying wing it needs to be quite far forward. Now if you look on there, again you'll see the balance point is quite far forward, which is, if you look, there you go, that's what I mean by balance point, see, which is, again have a look on my chat videos and you'll find out where it is, but it's very far forward, it's there on mine. With a flying wing, the CG is quite critical, and it can be very sensitive, up to about 5 mils either way, forward or backwards. So again, if you don't get it right, it'll be all over the place, hard to fly, but once you find that sweet spot, it will fly nice. Okay, let's show you the next one. Okay, so another conversion of the little glider I did was the Autogyro, which is this one. Okay, now I made my own balsa wood blades for this. Okay, again I've made a video for this, go and check this, check out the flying videos of this, it really does fly quite well. Now with this one, I kept the wings on it for orientation wise, so I can keep my orientation with it. Now I've tried to fly Autogyros in the past, and I've crashed them every time, so that's the reason why I wanted to make one out of a little glider, because it bounces. If you've watched the videos you'll see it certainly does bounce a lot. Okay, now my intention is, when I get plenty of batteries and time and weather and get out, I'll fly it with the wings taken off. As you see the wings come off. This one again, you'll see this video, a video of this one that I made as a picture on, and all I've done is use the shorter wings off the duo glider you've just seen, so it's a lot shorter, and and you'll see the CG point is quite far forward. It's about there, it's forward of the mast. Okay, I'm going to be doing another build video of one of these. This is my first build of an Autogyro, and there's a fair amount of experimentation with it to find out what works and what doesn't work. So there's a few little changes I want to change. I want to move the mast further back, maybe about there, because I want a more forward CG. I find I need a heavy battery, and I've only got 2 heavy batteries in front, and the bay there is not quite big enough to fit a standard 2200 3-cell battery in there. Otherwise that would probably resolve the problem. That's why I've not done a build video on this one, because well, I may take some measurements and show you what's what, because the next one might not work out either. But this one flies really well now. And the all-out weight of this one, let's have a look, 760 grams this weighs. This is with the battery in and everything all ready to go with the blades on. The blade set, that whole lot, weighs about just under 100 grams for that lot. Okay, so there's a fair amount of weight on there, and as you see, these wings are reduced, and let's see where I am. I think I'm there. So for comparison, this is a only hold on by a bit of tape. It's not really used. The wings are not really used. That's all I need, a bit of tape just to hold it in place. Okay, so for comparison, this is a unmodified Lidl wide wing, and as you can see, it's a lot bigger. Okay, and if you know anything about model airplanes, you'll know that the CG generally is on the route about there, and my CG is way over there, so clearly those wings are not giving the lift. Okay, so I'll be doing another build of one of these. I'm just waiting for some parts to come, because this head is a 3D printed head, but you can buy these from Cool Wind, so I'll show you that in a later video. Okay, so I'll show you the next. Okay, so here's a unmodified little glider I haven't done anything with this one yet. I have a few more to do. So as you can see, that is a standard. I've not even, oh yeah, I've took the top off, but that's not been hollowed out or any work done on that yet. Okay, so I don't know how many of you are on Facebook or have watched. There is a Facebook group where lots of people share their ideas on this, and although I'm not on Facebook, one of our club members has shown me a picture of someone on Facebook who's doing a swept wing one, and he's challenged me to see if I can do one. So that will be my next challenge. Okay, so the idea is to have the wings sweep back. Okay, so I'm going to have to make a mechanism to do that, so keep tuned. Hopefully I will get that working, and we'll have a glider that can fly with the wings like that, slowing, and then go for a high speed with the wings swept back. So I'll say that's what's coming up. There's not a lot of flying going on, as you can imagine, with this pandemic going on, so it's building time.